Welcome back to another titillating episode of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, Escapades. And I am your host, ManokAdobo.
And this week, surprisingly to me, this week's episode seems to take place after Mr. Natsume's trial, which is pretty late in the first game. I guess I'm just going to be very surprised to see where all these other episodes take place. Could be just anywhere between episode 4 and episode 5. You know, a lot of time is left unaccounted for in between those, I bet. So, for now, let's get it on, shall we? Let the show begin.
The Ranced Magazine presents Episode 3 at the British Supreme Court. This escapade takes place as Ryunosuke and Susanto visit Lord Stronghart to report on the outcome of Mr. Natsume's trial. They find a flustered Inspector Gregson attempting to solve a very taxing problem before his time runs out.
And we all know how punctual Lord Vortex Male Stronghart loves to be. Or maybe sometimes not punctual. Either way, just the way he looks at that stopwatch makes you really think you're on the clock. 26th of February, 9:17 a.m. British Supreme Court, Lord Chief Justice's office. Oh goody, I get to do Stronghart's voice again. Ah, here we are again. Every time we visit here, the atmosphere in this place seems to get more and more overbearing. Just think, we could be at home with Mr. Sholmes and Iris having nice, cozy breakfast. Oh, I would love some bacon and eggs right about now. But we have a duty to report the outcome of the case, especially since we're guests here in Britain. So I'm afraid this visit couldn't have been avoided. Can we get, like, Inspector Gregson to do it? Why do we have to show up in person? I suppose not, but is there even anyone here? You could hear a pin drop in this place. It's too solemn for its own good. It is very quiet, isn't it? The only sound is the ticking of the great clock as it keeps perfect time. With how big those gears are, I wouldn't be surprised if you could hear the ticking from, like, outside the building as they shake the earth. I wonder what powers these things. Maybe, like, it's somebody's job to just push a giant wheel running the entire clock. If they slack off for even just a second, well, it's gonna be really hard to figure out what a second is, isn't it?
Tick, tock, tick, tock, tick, tock, tick, tock.
What was that? What was that, I wonder? The usual comforting sound of the clock seems to have been joined by a less comforting shuffling sound today. Ooh, a piece just fell off. Everything's gonna come crashing down. Let's go.
Tick, tock, tick, tock, tick.
Who? You're right. Something's disturbing the rhythmical ticking. Hey, don't tell me Inspector Gregson's side job is pushing the giant clock wheel. It sounds rather like an unfit middle-aged man running from pillar to post. Clumsily. How specific?
Who you calling unfit?
Gregson, you need to hydrate? Man, eating all those fish and chips, you got nothing to wash him down with. No wonder. Oh, Inspector Gregson, what are you doing here?
What am I? Let me just lie down here on the floor for a second.
You're right, Inspector Gregson.
Just give me 1 moment.
12 hours later.
Isn't it flaming obvious? 58 seconds remaining, Inspector. We'll have to talk later, sunshine.
Gregson, you trying out for the Olympics? Look at him run. Good morning, Lord Stronghart. Stronghart? Wow, he's really looking fiercely at his pocket watch today. I'd hate to be that watch.
And good morning to you. Business so early in the day?
Oh, yes. Well, I mean, it's about the other day. We are to deliver a report, Lord Stronghart, as our dealings with Mr. Natsume are now over.
Ah, yes. The little Japanese man. I've already cast my eyes over Van Zeek's report.
I can vaguely hear it.
I must say, the outcome surprised me. I thank you for a job well done.
You are too kind, my lord.
It's not here, it's not there, and it's not over there either.
Didn't you know, Mr. Gregson, it's hip to be square. It's here, there, and everywhere. I hope you don't mind me asking, but what exactly is the inspector doing? He's been hurrying about between the bookshelves, looking beside himself with worry.
He's looking for a particular work. The Lion's Pride.
The Lion King? Oh, no, I think that's still in the Disney vault. You're gonna have to wait. Well, first of all, you're gonna have to wait for that movie to be made.
No, The Lion's Pride.
Now, there's an all too familiar title.
I'd heard it was a popular tale, so I obtained a copy from the rental library. However, it wasn't able to maintain my interest, so I soon cast it aside.
Are you about to be overdue on your library book? Wow, even the Lord Chief Justice doesn't want to play late fees. Just drop it in the Blockbuster return chute. Despite the fact that it's not a video, it's a book. Is that a real book? Let me look that up real quick.
I happened to notice a vacant spot on one of my shelves at the time. So I duly stowed the book there. Unfortunately, I no longer remember where that was.
Oops. At that point, just buy it from the library.
No, not there. Not here either. Come on, where are you lions hiding? The book is due back today, so I've asked Gregson to locate it for me with his investigative prowess.
Look, if Sholmes was here, all he'd have to do is spray, like, that special, like, detection fluid and just follow his footsteps to find the exact book that he actually touched. Well, actually, it would just show every book is touched by him.
Inside 5 minutes.
I must say, I've never seen anyone working so hard to find something. He's like a man possessed. You'd think his job depends on it or something.
Ah, yes. That's because his month's salary is staked upon the outcome.
At whose instigation? Let me guess. This stony-faced lord. Gregson, hurry! You'll be eating instant noodles for a year! Because apparently he subsists on just a month's salary. He can't afford to keep up his infinite fish and chips. He has to pay for each one. You know, just insert a little coin into the newspaper, and then out pops another little piece of fish, and then the spare change sprouts another French fry each. Beautiful, it's magic. And the 5-minute time limit? Oh, what's the significance of that?
There is none. Just my vulgar, mischievous spirit showing itself, I'm afraid.
Oh, Stronghart, you card. Wow, isn't he just so lighthearted? I'd love to work for him. How did this man even get, like, appointed to this position? I wonder. Who was the previous Lord Chief Justice? Oh, by your own admission.
I can't. Oh, my feet are killing me. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up, Inspector. Which means that the next month you will work unpaid and have no days off.
Is that legal?
I make the law.
Dang. Well, he doesn't make it, he just enforces it.
No days off.
You can pinpoint the exact moment his heart breaks in twain. Greggy, man. That's even more harsh than Gumshoe's punishments. I think Gumshoe at least gets a salary. He just spends it all on confetti and ramen and repairs to, like, monkey statues. There really are just so many books here. It's overwhelming. And before the book ended up already returned to the library, he just forgot he did.
Or some, perhaps. I've purchased every book, new or old, on the subject of law from all over the globe.
Wouldn't have believed it a few short decades ago. A place like this couldn't have existed.
What do you mean, Inspector?
When I was a lad, no one ever dreamed of buying books.
Oh, I see. Western books are such luxury items, I suppose, with their leather covers and fancy bindings and whatnot. What's wrong with a good old scroll, eh? A nice ninja scroll hidden within the depths of a temple.
No, that's not it.
Oh.
It was a tax on paper, see?
Ah, I getcha. Tax on paper, tax on windows. What's next? Tax on fish and chips.
No, please say it ain't so.
On paper? I mean, maybe it'll save a couple of trees.
Yeah, I mean, it was abolished about 30 years back now, but it used to be the case. There was tax levied on any kind of paper. So obviously that meant most folk couldn't afford to buy any books at all. And fish and chips had to be wrapped in plastic. Can you believe how bad that is for the environment?
Ah, so that is that why places like the rental library you mentioned before came into existence, Lord Stronghart?
Indeed. Vestiges of the paper tax system, you could say. The general public consider books as items for hire.
In a way, that is a good thing to come out of it, you know? Shared knowledge for basically free.
London is home to a vast lending library of some 3.5 million books.
You couldn't hope to read all of them even if you weren't reincarnated 10,000 times! Oh my. Guess we'll have to start reading in the afterlife then. I don't even read in my regular life. Just be like Doctor Strange, just flip through them like one page at a time, like tens of pages at a time. They turn back time so you have more time to read.
Even I would choose to rent a book rather than purchase it, if I knew I would read it infrequently.
Then why did you take that one particular book from the library, eh? The subject of tax has actually surprised us already in the last few days. It came up in Mr. Natsume's trial. It seems that the window in his room was filled in due to some kind of window tax.
That would be true. Fortunately, the window tax was abolished here some 40 years ago.
And they just don't want to hire somebody to actually undo all the bricked up windows.
Sadly, in the East End in particular, many windowless houses remain.
Britain's always had a bit of a thing for tax and stuff.
Yeah, you know, ask America about that one.
Whatever they can tax, they tax. Sugar, salt, tea, coffee, you name it. Candles, beards.
Wait, sorry? What was that last one? Taxing beards? Did you say beards? And I suppose it's a catch-22. They also put an even bigger tax on shaving razors. Either pay the tax to have a beard, pay the tax to cut it off. Just use scissors, man.
Yup, the beard tax. Never heard of it. That can't be real.
Is that real? Does it apply to like bearded ladies at the circus or something? Just wondering. Or you know, wherever a bearded lady may be. Never. Why would people have to pay money just because they let their facial hair grow?
You may well ask. I suppose it's because it makes them look self-important.
How much tax do you think the judge pays then? Both in, well, I guess in this game, if he was around at the time that the beard tax was instated, do you think it's per hair? I bet it's per, like, cubic centimeter of volume. I'm sorry, in this age, cubic inch. The Naruhodos will have a strict family policy of no facial hair, I think. Oh yeah, you just really quickly imagine Phoenix Wright with a mustache. Phoenix Wright, who's that? My name is Unicorn Left. All right.
You can relax. The beard tax was confined to the annals of history long ago. Last Tuesday, in fact.
Even so, it's clearly something the British really love. Now, question is, could that law ever come back? Could that tax ever come back, I mean? Paying taxes, I mean.
Paying him? You call that back to front, sunshine?
But you can't deny you've had a lot of funny taxes over the years. You'd never find anything like that in Japan. Well, you know. Would you, Mrs. Sato? In actual fact, I'm afraid to say that you would, Mr. Naruhodo.
What? No. You don't mean...
Surely there's never been a window tax in Japan? No, but there have been similarly obscure taxes. For example, in the Edo period, there was a frontage tax. As opposed to a baggage tax? What was that? It was a tax not on windows, but on the entrance to properties. So all you had to do is tunnel into your own home. Every time, board it up, easy, no entrances. The larger a property's entrance was, the greater the tax that was levied on it. Even today, some mansions survive with extremely narrow entrances due to that old form of taxation. I had no idea. What did the government think would happen? Of course people are gonna try to get around it. You got these little, like, 1 foot wide doors you gotta squeeze yourself into.
Huh. So you Japanese are as twisted as us Brits?
Sure. But we've never had a beard tax. I mean, that's really going a step too far. Well, no, that's true. I'm not aware of any taxes for beards, at least. What about mustaches? What do you mean, at least? Pubic hair? Ew. Well, rather than tax them, the shogunate did once prohibit them outright. The ruling class prohibited beards? What would happen if they saw someone with them?
I hope not execution. Ooh.
It was called the Great Beard Prohibition. Oh yeah. I'm just thinking like loads of grizzly men would just gather underground and hang out with these huge beards, like in secrecy, without anybody knowing, like akin to the alcohol prohibition, but instead of underground bars, it's just beard gatherings. It was an Edo period edict. But why did the powers that be want to ban beards?
Because it makes people look self-important? Just an idea.
I don't think so, Gregson. It would seem that rulers in the East and the West have had very similar ideas over the years. Man, we should probably check Susato's sleeve for Mr. Stronghart's book. Probably in there. Against all odds. There have been other unusual taxes in our history, even in our current Meiji period. There have. For example, though it was before either of us were born, there was a rabbit tax. Listen to me, like, listen intently to this as if it was important, like it was gonna come up in the future. No, it's not. There was a tax on those adorable fluffy creatures? Like the ones who make mochi sweets on the moon? Oh, I love that folktale. I heard it with mooncakes. Yes, and it was an extremely large tax too. The government demanded extraordinary sums of money. This just gets stranger and stranger. What was the reason for that bizarre tax then? I know I don't have a chat, but if you happen to know, post in the comments below what the name of that recent movie was that involved a girl trying to go to the moon to meet the women on the moon in order to reunite her with her love. It was based in China. I think the movie's also from China. But it was animated. This just gets stranger and stranger. What was the reason for that bizarre tax then? Well, after Japan opened its doors to the world, there was an unprecedented rabbit boom in the major capital. A boom? Yes. Keeping rabbits became hugely popular, and new species were traded at exorbitant prices. People were even swindled out of all their money for exotically colored rabbits. Exotically? Like colored chicks, I suppose. Oh, be wary of people trying to sell colored chicks, like, in the modern day, because they usually just dye them with food dyes that are potentially not even safe, and, you know, they're just gonna wash off. So, don't get scammed.
Hard to imagine, though. Rabbits are so timid and quiet. One never thought one would bankrupt you.
You don't pay the rabbit. So in response to this whirling social vogue, the government imposed a rabbit tax. I suppose they couldn't just ignore the problem. And it worked, because the rabbit boom came to an abrupt end. 6 years later, that tax was abolished. Well, I hate to say it about my own country, but Japan is strange. I mean, this game was written by Japanese writers, so they're admitting it, basically. But there's more! But wait, there's more. After the rabbit tax was abolished then, of course. Society reacted by launching straight into a second rabbit boom. It's just a cycle, isn't it? Oh, dear. The government didn't think that one through, did they? What were they supposed to do? Keep it, but just slightly lower it?
Your ideas about the world are very much altered by the position you hold in society. If you are responsible for the running of the country, you would feel the need to raise revenue keenly.
Without a stable taxation system, the whole country could go down the drain.
Well, yes, I suppose so, but some of these taxes... Government is hard. I don't want to ever go into government. The politics ain't my thing.
That's precisely why ministers of the state use their wiles to invent new and novel ways of taxing the public.
Novel ways?
Tell me, Mr. Naruto, if you were one of my country's statesmen...
Me? A British statesman?
Yes, what novel tax would you impose? Pray, give us something truly original.
A tax on every trope commonly used in an Ace Attorney game. A tax every time a witness turns out to be a murderer. A tax every time Larry Butts gets dumped. Oh no, if we just never get another Ace Attorney game, I don't want to jinx it.
Inside 5 seconds.
Wait! What? Think of something that everyone uses, Mr. Naruto, and really squeeze every penny out of the population. No, don't do that! It's quite the intense stare. I'm very glad Susato-san isn't in charge.
Your time is up. So, what's your answer?
Air? Maybe? Yes! Yes! How about air? With how much wind that lawyers produce in court, at least according to the anime, it's perfect. Oh, Naruhodo, you get taxed the most. Isn't that like the plot of the Lorax?
An air tax, you say?
That is absolutely ridiculous. Oh, well done, Mr. Naruhodo. A truly novel and fiendish idea. Probably leaning towards the other side. You can't tax air! What do you mean? Well, everyone has to breathe. So while the population is inhaling air, the government is inhaling money. What are you gonna do if someone can't pay up? Naruto! No!
Blimey, you're a tyrant at heart, eh?
You say that again? Evil!
A somewhat radical solution to a country's revenue problems, but sadly, not an original one.
No! No! You mean to say? Surely not. You mean a tax on air has been imposed in the past? Who? What country could have done this?
It was last century. The finance minister of our neighbor France proposed it.
France? France would tax air? Am I surprised? I'm not sure. What? If I ever go for a visit, I'm holding my breath.
Unsurprisingly, it was strongly opposed by the public and soon scrapped. The minister didn't last long either.
Well, I mean, last time the public didn't really like the way that the upper class rule things in France. I don't know. It didn't go too well for them. Let them eat bread, they say. Oh dear. Although clearly that would have been an untenable situation. The public at large are forced to be reckoned with.
Don't I know it?
How about you, Inspector? What new tax would you impose? Don't say water. Don't say water.
Let me see. My first thought was a tax on objections.
Sorry? I wouldn't be surprised if a future Ace Attorney does that.
Been hearing far too many of them recently in court. There's a particular lawyer I have in mind as it happens. So I think an objection tax could be very handy.
Good to see you don't allow your personal feuds to influence your work in public office. Can we tax updated autopsy reports at least? It's only fair.
I reckon 5 pence for every objection raised would be about right.
A most amusing proposal, Gregson.
A most unamusing proposal, my lord. A most unamusing. Yeah, no, let's not put any of these people in charge of the treasury of Britain, please. No. I don't trust any of them.
Well then, I think it's your turn now.
Sorry, my turn for what? To find the book?
Why, what else? To locate my missing copy of The Lion's Pride.
Oh!
Oh.
What are you gonna do? Cut my salary? I don't work for you. Do I? Oh, I think I do.
It's on one of the shelves in this room. Of that I am certain. Now, I shall give you 10 minutes.
How generous.
And let's stake your student stipend on it, Fail to find the book and you'll forfeit next month's payment.
Objection! 5 pence!
Your time starts now. Oh, and one more thing. I believe you just said the word objection. Kindly leave your 5 pence over there before you begin combing the shelves.
You said it too, we're even! This tax is going to be the death of me. Ah! Well, boy, let's hope that law doesn't make it to Japanifornia. Ah, poor Phoenix. Poor Naruhodo family bloodline. All of them cursed. All of them. You know, in the context of the first game, I'm glad. Not for taxes. No. Never glad for taxes. I'm glad that Chief Vortex Maelstrom Stronghart actually got a little bit more screen time, at least in the form of a little episode. Still not sure what to make of his personality now, because I guess he can have a little fun, even if it is at the expense of others. Yeah, okay. Remind me never to get hired in any way under him. But, yeah. Who knew? Who knew that'd be the last time we'd ever see him again until Great Ace Attorney 2. Besides that, join me next time, y'all. This was fun, but we still got plenty more to go. Join me next time for the next episode, Escapade, in the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. This has been your host, ManokAdobo, signing out. I'll see ya in the streams, I'll see you in the YouTubes, wherever you choose to absorb your chicken-based content. Stay clucky out there, and have a good day.